but I would rap to anything. So because of that, I kind of got this reputation of someone that's like, hey, if you need a job done on some like music shit or like performance shit, like this guy can do it. He can rap. He knows how to throw parties. He's a dancer. It doesn't matter the genre.
Hold up. Pause. How we missed this dancer bit? Somehow this.
I mean,
first...
well, I was going to raves, dude. I told you, like I used to.
I guess that was an implied thing, and I just didn't even okay, you did very big fair.
Yeah, I was.
Were you an ill dancer?
I was all right. Some other people might be like he was ill. Like that was a long time ago, so like my shit ain't as dope as maybe it was when I was in my younger days. But like I did my thing when I was doing it. But I was more into like house dance and I did a little break, and I was never really a breaker though. But like house dancing and like that shit, I was definitely big on. But so there's me, Unpaid Bill, Mayday, Luck D, and then Topics, or Rocky, and we were the original core crew, and then our boy Hoodoo, and Stats, and Angel Dust. Angel D came later, but that was the fam. That was the crew. So we came to New York and we started, throwing shows and getting booked for shows, and we'd already been recording stuff. And again, like you got to understand the context, and I think this is why the stuff that we did at that time is still dope. You probably can't find a lot of it online. There's some of it online actually, because of Mayday, because he put some stuff up. But it was all love doing it, man. Like our sessions were.
Can you describe it a bit? Because this is a little bit more where the one thing I've learned doing this show is that as tech gets better, preparation gets worse, and therefore the meticulousness of music has changed. That is the one constant I can say maybe holds true if people want to talk about shit. Is people prepare less. So can you describe a bit the context? Because you're still talking like early 2000s. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 07, 08 when shit gets cheap and motherfuckers get home studios for reals.
So basically, Bill, me, and Todd, we live in they call them shotgun apartments. It's like basically one long hallway with rooms. Like basically it's just like a series of rooms, and there's just a hallway that goes through the rooms. So that they have doors, but basically you can walk from the front of the apartment to the back of it through every room, and there's no other way to get to the room. So let's say if you're in the back of the apartment in the bedroom and you want to get to the kitchen, you got to walk through every other bedroom and the living room. There's like no other way to get. You have to walk through every room. So the nickname of, but they're old like apartments like that were in the turn of the century when people were coming over and emigrating, because like multiple families would live in one place, or like big families, and they would all be in this one apartment. Anyway, we turned that shit into a fucking like bunker dojo. Like we had 4 turntables set up, walls of records, and we're just always playing or making music. And in that time, we're all married now. A couple of us are fathers. We all have other careers. Bill is a teacher, New York City school teacher. Mayday actually is a union organizer and a professor. Still make music. In fact, and we'll probably get into this later, but like Mayday and I are doing a record this year called Emertica.
Yeah, that's dope.
We got stuff coming out, so we're always putting out music, but we just loved each other's company. Like to this day, I mean, I could spend hours on end with these dudes, kicking it. So we were just growing up together, and and like I said, we had the same interests, but we also didn't have a lot of responsibility. So we just were just like, yeah, man, we're just fucking drinking beer, smoking weed, and playing records, and going record shopping, and digging.
That's a dream.
Yeah. So to your point about the 10,000 hours, without making it into like this mission, like, well, we've got to be. It was just organically happening, because it was like, wake up, like, check the scene. I would wake up, right, and I'd walk into the studio, And Mayday and Bill would just be there, blunt, playing records.
My word, that's
Go make some food, come back, still making shit or listening to records. Honestly, they spent more time just listening to shit, like hours and hours listening to records. And I would just pop in and out, take a break, go to the pub.
That's more the version I want.
Yeah, go to the pub, get some Guinness, hang out, talk some shit, come back, put some more records on. Our weed dude was in our building, so he would just roll up with fucking whatever, and we would just chill.
Yo, but you guys are doing this after children, right? Because we just got a comment that was before children. You said you're doing all this after children?
No, before.
Children.
Oh yeah, all before.
You're like, no, this is the
might be the reason why there are kids now, but no, before kids. No, this is we're all just and honestly, man, some of the best times of my life only because and shout out to my wife. I love my wife dearly and all of that. But there's just something about that. There's just something about that time when like all you're focusing on are your boys and the shit you love, and you're in a place that you dreamed that you wanted to live. Like, that was the first, for me, moving to New York and moving in with them was the first time in my life that a dream I had, I manifested. That was the first actual time that I was like, I envisioned this happening, and now it's happening. And that was so, I mean, it was scary sometimes, but it was so, it inspires me to this day. Like that time of my life to this day. Yo. Like everything that I am is because of those dudes and that time, because it was almost
like a huge knowledge nugget up in that. The idea of success is often correlated, if you read all the success books, to the simple concept of visualization followed by execution, followed by analyze results, followed by repeat. And that's all it is you do that a lot. So when you get that first taste of the full cycle completion, you visualize something crazy for yourself, something big, and you actually land it, oh my gosh, that unlocks the whole world for you, because now you've done that. What's the next one? It's just bigger. It's just more things to figure out. But you just repeat that process. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because it's such a key and pivotal thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Bill's blowing up. I love Bill's forever in my head, man. Like, the funny thing is like, Bill's saying all the stuff in the chat. It's like, but he don't realize, like, I wouldn't be the MC or the artist if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for the music that he exposed me to. So much that I understand. And I'm not talking to just rap records, and I'm talking about jazz and funk. Like, a big part of my music education is really from hanging out with him and Todd. They are musicologists and meticulous with their shit.
Shout out you for giving them flowers.
Nah, man, he's calling me humble in the chat. It's like, this motherfucker's humble, man. Like, yeah, the sure knowledge this man has of music and history and culture, it's ridiculous.
So let's just go on a logic run. So if he's that meticulous with it, therefore he's decided that you're that good. Thus, I should take his word that seriously based on your cosign.
Well, it's what it is.